Have you ever felt that after 60, things are no longer the same? That your body doesn't respond as it used to? That your energy is no longer the same? Or that suddenly, you find yourself depending on others more than you would like? If you've ever thought this way, I have important news for you. Much of what we believe about aging is a lie. Yes, a lie. Society has sold us the idea that after a certain age, life only gets worse. But today, I'm going to reveal to you 5 lies that people have told you about aging, and why you need to stop believing them today if you want to live a healthier, more independent, and happier life. Lie number 1. After 60, your body will only get worse. The first big lie is this idea that after 60, your body is doomed to decline, that you can no longer be strong, agile, or full of energy. But look, I know people in their 70s and 80s who run, dance, lift weights, and have more energy than many young people. The secret: the body responds to what you do for it. If you stop moving, it will get weaker. But if you maintain a routine of light exercise, stretching, and a good diet, your body will adapt and continue to function very well. A study from the University of Birmingham showed that people over 60 who exercise regularly have muscles and immune systems equivalent to those of people 30 years younger. Amazing, right? So, if someone tells you that you're too old to exercise, don't believe them. Your body is still capable of amazing things. You just have to give it the chance. Lie number 2. Older people have to be fragile and dependent. How many times have you heard phrases like, "Let me do it for you," "That's dangerous at your age," or "You shouldn't take risks anymore"? That's the second lie. The idea that after a certain age, you have to be fragile and dependent on others. But the truth is that getting older doesn't mean losing your autonomy. Of course, some precautions are necessary, but that doesn't mean you should stop living. I know seniors who travel alone, learn new technologies, cook, drive, and even start businesses after 70. The problem is that when the people around us start treating us as incapable, we ourselves start to believe it. And then what happens? We stop trying, we become more dependent, and that, yes, ends up accelerating aging. So, my tip for you today is, don't let others define your limits. If you want to keep driving, learn the necessary adaptations. If you want to cook, use lighter utensils. If you want to travel, plan safely. But don't give up your independence, just because someone thinks you shouldn't. Lie number 3. After a certain age, there's no point in learning new things anymore. This is one of the most dangerous lies of all. The idea that after 60, your brain doesn't learn anymore, that you can't memorize new things, that it's not worth studying, that technology is only for young people. But that's pure myth. The brain is like a muscle. If you don't use it, it atrophies. But if you keep learning, it stays sharp and flexible. Research shows that seniors who learn new skills, whether it's a language, a musical instrument, or even using a smartphone, have a much lower risk of developing dementia. And you know what's most interesting? An older person's brain has an advantage: accumulated wisdom. You don't need to learn from scratch. You already have experience, patience, and focus. This makes learning even more efficient in some aspects. So, if you think you're too old for something, I challenge you. Try it. Pick up that book you've always wanted to read. Sign up for an online course. Learn how to send messages on WhatsApp. You'll be surprised at what you're still capable of. Now that we've talked about these 3 lies, that the body only gets worse, that the elderly have to be dependent, and that it's impossible to learn anymore, I want to tell you the last 2 and most dangerous lies that you've been told about getting older. And the next one will surprise you, because it's directly linked to your happiness. But first, I want to know, which of these lies did you believe the most? Leave a comment. I thought my body would only get worse, or I thought I couldn't learn anymore. I'd love to read your answers. And since you're here, take advantage and like the video to help me reach more people like you. In the next part, we'll unravel the last lies, and I promise you won't want to miss it. The most dangerous lies about aging. Before we continue, I want to ask you a question. How many times have you heard someone say that old age is synonymous with sadness, or that after a certain age, life loses its charm? This is perhaps one of the cruelest lies we've been told about aging. And today, we're going to unravel the last two lies, precisely the ones that most affect your happiness and self-esteem after 60. Lie number 4. Old age is loneliness and sadness. How many times have you seen movies, soap operas, or even commercials showing elderly people alone, sad, waiting for death to arrive? As if, after 60, life was just a countdown to the end. But I'll tell you a secret. Getting older has nothing to do with loneliness. In fact, many seniors discover a freedom they never had before. No children to raise, no stressful work, no heavy bills. It's time to enjoy life your way. Of course, some losses are natural. Friends who leave, children who are far away. But that doesn't mean you have to live in isolation. I know people who, after 70, have made new friends in dance groups, volunteering, traveling, even on the internet. And if you're feeling lonely, I have a challenge for you today. Take the first step. Call a friend you haven't seen in a while, sign up for a social activity, or simply go to the nearest square and start a conversation. You'll be surprised at how many people are in the same situation and looking for company. Happiness in. Maturity isn't luck. It's a choice, and you can choose to live lighter, happier, and more meaningful days. Lie number 5. You've already given what you had to give. That last lie hurts my heart. How many times have you thought, I've lived too long, my time is past, or I have nothing left to contribute? But I want to remind you of something very important. Your age is not a limit, it's an accumulation of experience. Here are some incredible examples. Colonel Sanders founded KFC at age 62. Grandma Moses started painting at age 78 and became a famous artist. Nelson Mandela became president of South Africa at age 76. And you know what they all had in common? They didn't believe it was the end. And neither should you. If you have a dream tucked away in your drawer, whether it's writing a book, learning to play the guitar, traveling somewhere, or even starting a business, now is the time. You have more wisdom, more patience, and more resources than you imagine. And if someone tells you that you're old enough, remember, you don't have an expiration date. Your story is still being written. Now that we've uncovered these 5 lies, I want to invite you to stop believing them today. Every time you think, I can't do it, it's too late, or this isn't for my age, remember this video. Because getting older isn't about losing. It's about transforming. It's about discovering new ways to be happy, active, and independent. And I want to know, which of these lies impacted you the most? Have you ever believed that you couldn't learn anymore? Or that your life no longer had a purpose? Tell us in the comments. Your story might inspire others. And if this video helped you in any way, don't forget to like and share it with someone who needs to hear this today. Because together, we can change the way the world ages. Look at this wonderful scene around me. People living, laughing, moving, enjoying life after 60, 70, 80 years old. And do you know what they all have in common? They decided not to believe these lies about aging that we have just uncovered together. And today, I want to invite you to do the same. Rewriting your story. If there is one thing I have learned from talking to hundreds of elderly people, it is that old age can be the best time of life, but only if you allow it. Think about it. You have already raised your children, if you wanted to have any. You have already worked hard. You have already overcome so many challenges. Now is the time to reap the rewards, to do what you have always dreamed of, to live with more ease and less pressure. But to do that, you need to do 3 simple things. Question everything you've been told about what an elderly person should be like. Try new things, even if they seem small. Believe that you still have a lot to offer. So today, I have a challenge for you. In the next 7 days, I want you to do something that you were told that elderly people shouldn't do, but that you want to do. Talk to someone who has an inspiring story about life after 60. 3. Write down a quality of yours that has only improved with age. And then, come back here in the comments and tell me how it went. Because when one of us breaks these prejudices, we all win. I truly believe we can create a new way of aging. Freer, more joyful, more hours. But that only happens if everyone does their part. Remember, getting older is not about losing your youth. It's about gaining history. It's about accumulating wisdom. It's about having the right to be exactly who you are. And if someone tries to put you in a box because of your age, show them how amazing life can be at any stage. This channel exists to prove that the best years can be just ahead. If you liked this video, subscribe, like it, and ring the bell so you don't miss the next content. And now I'm going to go, because there's a dance class starting over there and I'm not going. To miss it, don't forget